Welcome back to another episode of the Scale Smart podcast. I'm your host, Jacob, and I'm also the founder of NetScale Growth. Today, I have the pleasure of being joined by Arman Eshraghi, the founding CEO of Qrvey. Arman, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Jacob.
So, Arman, kick me off. Tell me a little bit more about yourself, your experience of becoming this founding CEO of Qrvey, and what did Qrvey do?
Sure. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I would say, uh, someone who has started companies, software companies, B2B companies, software product companies from the very early age when I was in college. It's my fourth company. So have started different data and data automation companies. And what Qrvey does is really data analytics in a OEM fashion, meaning we cater to SaaS companies and we do provide them something that is fully embeddable, API first, multi-tenant, designed for SaaS companies to add it to their product to enrich their analytic capabilities. And also, it helps them to offer self-service capabilities to their
Yeah.
own customers and users.
Yeah. And you guys have recently experienced some significant growth after securing quite a big investment, particularly to scale the sales and marketing and the customer experience operations. So tell me how you're planning on scaling the business after getting such a big investment.
Sure. So, like any other software company, Qrvey, as you scale, you have to pay attention to different parts of the company. Sometimes product is the part that really you need to pay more attention, invest there, build the right product that you can offer. At the end, product is the core of what you offer as a software product company. And then you need to pay attention to, for example, how to deliver your product and the CX and the CS part, customer support, customer experience, so customers of you can be successful and help them through that journey. And then you pay attention to the marketing, that for a company like us that we are so specialized, really marketing is more about educating the market. And then of course you have to have a strong sales as well. So there are different parts of the company. I cannot tell that one part is all the time. It's really what I'm putting all of my attention on that side. But I would tell you that every quarter you would see that one part or the other is gaining more attention.
And I think it goes down to like growing the company from a holistic perspective. So taking all growth accounts into perspective, not just focus on, for example, the marketing or not just focusing on the sales, because all in all, both of them are gonna scale the business. So, like I said, it's about being able to scale the business from a holistic perspective and take all the accounts of measure. Um, but Qrvey differentiates itself by offering a turnkey multi-tenant analytics solution, right? With an enterprise grade data lake. So you guys are also aiming to be around 10 times faster than building an analytics layer in house. So tell me, you guys have got that big differentiator there within the market. How's that going for you when it comes to differentiating yourself within the software?
Yeah, so there are easy problems to solve in the analytic world, and also there are difficult problems to solve, right? So when you get into the easy problems, like for example, charting, data visualizations, those are relatively easier problems to solve for people. So if someone comes and say, I have the data visualization problem and I want to be able to visualize my data, relatively easier problem to solve versus someone comes and say, I have a data problem and I wanted to make sure I have the data foundation that is right data foundation for self-service capabilities to offer my data and information I gather and analytics that I have and insights to my partners or to my customers in a multi-tenant way. There are so other kind of building my data pipeline that is relatively, those are more difficult problems to solve. Now, if the company can really solve the data problems and solve more difficult problems, then you can better offer higher value to your customers because they can save a lot of time, because those are not the kind of problems that can be solved quickly. If I only address the easy problem, it's harder for me to say I can really save you so much time and money and take your product to market much faster, like 10x, for example, saving time. But if you are actually addressing their problems on the data side and you are A to Z solution, especially because you are really putting everything in a much integrated way. So your data understands the personalization, understands the visualizations, understands the automation, and all of those are seamlessly integrated with each other. And when you put it on top of any product and any database, you can really showcase a very strong analytics in a very unified way. That is a lot of time that you are saving for your customers.
Mm. And what would you say is one of the biggest mistakes companies make when it comes to actually being different within the market?
Honestly, I understand the challenge and I will tell you about it because then you can put it in the right context before I answer your question directly. But there are two sides to it. One side is internal side that you have more control over. We talked about sales, marketing, product, CX. All of those are internal inside the company that you are really working with every day to improve. But on the external side, there is market that is not under your control and is a moving target. And market is changing by itself. And competitors are coming and adding to the market some value and innovating on their own. Those are all external factors. And then, if you are really building your company in a vacuum and you are not paying attention to where the market is heading, you may build something that was good for 2 years ago, and now by the time you are done, it's not that relevant to the where market is. So that makes it very dynamic, and that what makes it in a way that you have to really pay attention on both sides, and that makes it much harder because while you are actually planning and while you are thinking about taking your organization to the point you want, actually that point needs to be the exact point that market is heading to so you can converge, and that how you can really dominate the market. Now, that's the difficulty part, and companies that purely look at competitors, not the market, and companies that purely pay attention to the internal matters to optimize it rather than looking at the market, both are going not both are going to take a lot of risk not hitting the target.
Mhm.
So that's, I think, to me, it has been translated to many different ways, but some people talk about winning battles but losing the war, for example, right? In a different interpretation of the same thing, that you may win a lot of battles, but at the end you are losing the war because you are not really looking at the end destination. And just because you did a lot of things right and you won a lot of battles doesn't mean you will win the war. And those are the things that really companies makes really building any company, any software company, especially in the technology that is super high, fast paced, a big challenge.
And now shifting onto AI a little bit, right? You guys at Qrvey have integrated generative AI into your platforms to enhance the customer facing analytics. How has that played its role when it comes to scaling the company in terms of maybe like has it reduced the amount of time which your employees are potentially spending on that sector in the business?
Yeah, so AI is different today than it used to be before. For example, if you were asking me this question 5, 6 years ago, I would have told you that we have AI capabilities that we have added to the product. For example, you can just take input from PDF, you can take input from voice calls, and then you can analyze all of these voice calls and just provide some analytics out of the voice calls, those kind of things. The way we have seen today that in a variety of ways, really AI playing a role, AI is actually competing with human in a way. So we see increasingly AI agents are becoming users of Qrvey. So in more and more cases, we have seen that AI agents coming and using our software. So we are actually building the software in a way that AI agents can use it better, meaning that your AI agent can be our power user, your AI agent can be our user. And rather than a human is working with our software, the AI agent actually is constructing the output, is actually building the dashboard, is building the workflow, is actually doing things that a power user would do. Or in some cases, there are end users, the AI agents coming to gain insight. So our software needs to be fully AI ready, and we are there, we are in that kind of domain that we are not catering only to human, but we are also catering to AI.
Amazing. Well, that sounds like you guys have got things figured out in terms of that, and it's great to hear that the company's not just catering to like you say humans, but it's catering because it's going to be a time where there is no humans. It's just all robots. It's all just AIs. So it's good to hear that you guys have already adapted with that, so that your company can not just serve the humans but also the AIs that are going to be utilizing the product as well. So where do you see the future of the industry going from here? Because obviously, I know AI agents are coming onto the scene now as well, which just taking everything by storm. And some of the things that I've saw are just like wow. So where do you see it go from here?
Yeah, so when we look at the future, things are not going to go as fast as we may imagine today. But when you look at the past, realize it has gone really fast. Meaning that if I tell you that, hey, look at the last 5 years, you say, wow, it was like 2 seconds. It just everything passed so fast. But if I tell you about the next 5 years, you say 5 years, that's a very long time. So I'm pretty sure 5 years from now, we will look at the past and say how fast it was. But
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
it's not going to be like that. It's going to be a little bit, step by step approach going forward, implementing AI, working on a variety of aspects of it that needs to be still fine tuned. So it's not going to be super, super fast. I'm not portraying a kind of image that in a year from today, everything will be totally different. But step by step, things are going to be different. And we will see that we just talked about one aspect of it, that the users are going to be increasingly AI agents rather than a regular user. And the reason is that AI agents are going to be more, I would say, trained so they can get smarter, they can get into more sophisticated. Today is still, I would say, a prototype, it still is a POC. I don't see it as a product kind of level, something that human can really just trust and give the credit card to the just the robot and say, go ahead and just make all of the decision, make all of the purchases,
yeah.
come back. It's not there yet, but we have a kind of some steps to get there. But definitely the direction is going to take us there, and you rely on this AI agent to work on your behalf, look at your data, watch the information, even make some decisions, take some actions, and step by step we are going to go there, get there. Software is going to play a central role because like AI, like human need software, AI agents and AI would need software, right?
Yeah.
So that's the tool that both need. So I don't see any change on that side. So software applications are going to exist and are going to serve. It's just they need to serve both human and AI agents.
And what are some of the goals you guys have got for the company over the next 12 months or so?
Yeah, we will continue, as I said, internally to be better and better. The product, we have improved it drastically, of course. What we pay attention to every day, and during the next 12 months is not an exception, is to really make customers happy. That's by far our number one metric. So when we look at the customer satisfaction and we see that customers are getting happier, and more satisfied with what Qrvey can offer them, and we are saving more time and money for them, and they are successful in going to production and providing their product to their customers, and their customers are happier with them as well. That's the metric that we monitor. And if the company does the right thing, any company that does the right thing, they should see improvements with that regard, meaning that they should see more customers, more happier customers, and more satisfied customers. That's where we are heading. So at Qrvey, we definitely monitor that, and we stay in touch with customers that we have, and we ask for their input and feedback, and we make our product in a way that works best for them. And of course, taking the direction that market wants and building the product that market wants.
Amazing. And if people wanted to reach out, Armin, and find a little bit more about what you guys are doing at Qrvey or get in touch, where's the best place for them to do that?
Yeah, so since we are very specialized software, we try to be very educational to the market, and we publish a lot of content every month, every week. Definitely, you can find us easily on LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn. I will be happy to connect with you. The company website is also pretty rich from content perspective. Um, so Qrvey.com, Qrvey.com, and also the LinkedIn would be the best source of information for the company.
Amazing. Well, Arman, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your expertise. It's definitely been interesting to find out about your journey and also the journey which you've took and going to take Qrvey on. So, thank you.